So in this topic, we will study the calculation of mass moment of inertia. The mass moment of inertia will be calculated for 8 figures, 8 diagrams or 8 types of structures. First will be uniform rod. Okay. Second one will be a rectangular plate. Third one will be a circular ring. Fourth one will be a circular plate. Fifth one will be a hollow cylinder. Sixth one will be a solid cylinder. Seventh one will be a hollow sphere. And eighth one is solid sphere. Okay. We will also study two theorems for the calculation of mass moment of inertia, which are parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. And lastly, we will study radius of gyration related to mass moment of inertia. So for the calculation of mass moment of inertia, we have the formula I is equal to summation of mr square. Okay, or we can also do integration if we have variable mass and radius, then integration of the ith particle to nth particle has been done. Okay, so in this expression, mj is the mass of the jth particle and rj is the perpendicular distance of the particle from the axis of rotation. Okay, because perpendicular distance is the shortest distance. Okay, so shortest distance or perpendicular distance of the particle from the axis of rotation. Now first one is the uniform rod. For uniform rod, the axis of rotation is chosen as the perpendicular bisector. Means the perpendicular bisector of the rod is chosen as the axis of rotation, and this uniform rod will be rotating about this axis. So the calculation of mass moment of inertia has been done. First, the elemental mass dm, which is at a distance of x from the axis of rotation, which having length dx. So dm is equal to mass per unit length into dx. This will be give you dm, this elemental mass of the part having thickness dx. Then a small change in mass moment of inertia is equal to dm into x square. So dm is the elemental mass at a distance x from the axis of rotation, and x is the shortest distance or the perpendicular distance of the dm from the axis of rotation. So dm is equal to m by l, and this integration m by l into x square into dx has been integrated from minus l by 2 to l by 2, because 0 has been chosen as the middle one. The axis of rotation is chosen as the origin. So this is the positive x direction and this is the negative x direction. So integration is done from minus of l by 2 to plus of l by 2. And when we do the integration, we get the value as ml square by 2. So m is the total mass, capital M is the total mass of the uniform rod, L is the total length. Okay, and then you will get the mass moment of inertia as ml square by 12. Okay, so in GATE we just have to remember the formulas. Okay, we don't have to remember the derivation, we have to remember only the formulas. Second one is the rectangular plate, whose axis of rotation passes through the center and parallel to the one of the edges. Okay, so this is the axis of rotation, this green color, and this distance dx from a distance of x from the axis of rotation. T is the thickness of the this rectangular plate. Okay. Now L and B has to be interchanged. Okay, so this is L and this is B. It has been written in the wrong order. this should be B and this should be L. Okay, just change it to this is L and this is B. Okay, because then only the elemental area will be B into dx. Okay, here this is B, so B into dx is the elemental area. Okay, so change it to B and this change it to L according to the derivation that we will see. So elemental mass dm is equal to mass per unit area into elemental area B into dx. This is the elemental area. Elemental mass moment of inertia is dmx square, and we integrate it and we get ml square by 12. Okay. Now along the perpendicular now along this, because first we have calculated along this axis of rotation. If we choose the axis of rotation as this one, opposite edge, then we will get mb square by 2, mb square by 12. Okay, and change it to this, change it to B and change this, change it to L, and then you will get the right answer with the figure. Okay, so along one axis it's ml square by 12, about other axis it's mb square by 12. Okay, one axis is this, another will be this, and along the perpendicular axis, okay, perpendicular to both axes, that is given by perpendicular axis theorem. So Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. So along the perpendicular to both axes, all three are concurrent. So about that perpendicular to the plane axis, we have mass moment of inertia as ml square by 12 into plus mb square by 12. Okay. Now we will see a circular ring. So in the circular ring, the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the plane and passing through the center. And here we get mass moment of inertia as mr square. So m is the mass of the ring and r is the radius of the ring, circular ring. Okay, so you get it mr square. R is the capital. Okay, so capital R is the mean radius of the circular ring. Mean means R0 plus Ri by 2. Outside radius plus inside radius by 2. Now circular plate. So circular plate has the axis of rotation perpendicular to its plane and passing through the center. Okay. So once again, same like, because axis of rotation is same like that circular ring. Okay. Perpendicular to the plane and passing through the center. Here also, elemental area is 2 pi x dx. Okay. So then we integrate it and we get the value as mr square by 12. Okay. Mr square by 2. Mr square by 2. Okay. So capital M is the mass of the circular plate. Capital R is the total radius of the circular plate. Okay, so mr square by 2 is the mass moment of inertia of a circular plate about the axis of rotation which is perpendicular to the plane. Now hollow cylinder about the axis of rotation passing through the center and along the length. Here also we get mr square by 2. No, here we get mr square. Hollow cylinder about its axis passing through the center and along the length. This is mr square. Okay. M is the mass of the hollow cylinder and R is the outside radius of the hollow cylinder or mean radius if the thickness is given. No, thickness is not given. Hollow cylinder is just hollow cylinder. No thickness, just R. Mass moment of inertia of a uniform cylinder about an axis passing through the center and along the length. So this is the figure. This is the cylinder. and this axis of rotation is along the length and perpendicular to the plane. Okay, so here the elemental volume has been calculated first, and then dm, and then I is equal to dm x square. And here we get the value as mr square by 2. Okay, so mass moment of inertia of a uniform solid cylinder about an axis passing through the center and axis along the length is mr square by 2. Now for a hollow sphere, about its diameter, so this ds part, this arc is equal to r d theta. D theta is the angle obtained by this arc at the center. So ds is equal to r d theta. Area of the elemental ring is 2 pi r sine alpha. Okay, so alpha is, so it will be c 2 pi r d theta. Okay, so not alpha, theta, 2 pi r sine theta r d theta. We don't have to remember the derivation, we just have to remember the formulas only. So for a hollow sphere, mass moment of inertia is 2 by 3 mr square. Okay, for a solid sphere it will be 2 by 5 mr square. Same thing, axis of rotation will be the same, but if a solid sphere will be taken, then 2 by 5 square, 2 by 5 into mr square, and if hollow sphere is given, then 2 by 3 of mr square. M is the total mass, r is the outside radius. Now uniform solid sphere, about its diameter, so its mass moment of inertia is 2 by 5. Okay, the previous one was 2 by 3, hollow it was 2 by 3, and solid it's 2 by 5 of mr square. Now two theorems of the mass moment of inertia. First one is parallel axis theorem, means between two parallel axes what is the relation of mass moment of inertia. Okay, so between two parallel axes passing through the body of mass m, I2 is equal to I1 plus ml square, where L is the perpendicular distance between both the axes and m is the total mass of the body. Second one is perpendicular axis theorem. So perpendicular axis theorem is Iz is equal to Ix plus I by, so between three mutually perpendicular and concurrent axes passes through a point, we have Iz is equal to Ix plus I by. Means Ix and I by are in the same plane and Iz is perpendicular to the xy plane, and both axes, all the three axes are passing through one point. Okay, so they are concurrent one. Now radius of gyration related to mass moment of inertia. So mass moment of inertia is represented by I is equal to mk square. So m is the total mass of the body and k is the radius of gyration. So for various figures we have calculated the mass moment of inertia, then equate that I to mk square and you will get the k value, is radius of gyration for various bodies. Okay, so as a definition, it is the mass of the ring which is equivalent to the mass of the object or shape whose radius of gyration is to be found. Okay, so I is equal to mk square represents mass moment of inertia of a ring about a chosen axis. Okay, and the mass of the ring is same as the mass of the object or shape whose radius of gyration is to be found. Okay, so thank you.